everyone, how you doing? Karl here. Want to do a little follow-on vlog entry to yesterday's video about the news about the women's games being signed up with Sky Sports and the extra revenue that's going to mean. Still absolutely buzzing about this news. I'm prompted to do a second post today because I'm very aware that for some there's not much knowledge around the women's game. So I saw a post from a friend on Twitter. I'm going to overlay the image now and just briefly explain it to you. So basically it's a continual circle. So you've got more investment coming into the game, i.e. the 75% for the WSL and the 25% from Sky, the money going in, which is what we've seen in the men's games, the Premier League. So that then brings us round to better facilities and better coaching. You know, clubs can upgrade their training complexes, get better grounds, get better coaches in. That then leads to better players / products. So, you know, like the better facilities, the better coaches, the better the players will be. You'll also be able to attract better players as clubs in terms of wages you can offer and transfer fees. And then with that, with the better quality of football and some big stars over here, we come round to more exposure. So, you know, the game grows as it has been year by year. The reputation gets higher and higher and there's more interest. And then that will in turn attract more investment, even more investment, because people will start realising, man, this is massive. They already are. But, you know, when everything goes up a level now, even more so, you know. And there's a little note at the bottom there. Don't forget, the FA banned women's football for 50 years. So the women's game has always been playing catch up. It's always been playing catch up. So what I'm going to do now is, obviously because I'm a fan of the women's games and I've got a knowledge around it from sort of being in it, doing photography and stuff, I want to talk you through some of the biggest stars in the WSL at the moment. So the first one I want to talk about is Ellen White of Man City. She's had a great career with excellent goal rates over it. Was the joint top goal scorer at the 2019 World Cup. And even at 31, is still battling Arsenal's Midima for the all-time WSL top goal scorer, with them currently on 56 and 55 goals respectively. Fantastic player. Next one, Jackie Groenen of Man United. This girl's called the vacuum cleaner by the Dutch. She's a proper workhorse of a midfielder. She's a grafter. She makes key tackles and she'll just run through brick walls. She'll run all day long. She covers so much distance. And obviously when you've got a player like that in the middle of the park, it massively benefits the whole side. And the next player, Danielle van der Donk of Arsenal. Playmaker, great playmaker, makes some wonderful attacks and gets loads of assists, and also arguably has one of the highest work rates in the division in midfield. She just doesn't stop working for the side. Next up, we have the world known over, fantastic career, massive reputation, Steph Horton of Man City. She'll go down as one of England's greatest ever captains, and she's currently on 121 caps for her country and counting. Her pass rates, especially long passes, are second to none for Man City in the league at the moment. Next up, we have Beth England of Chelsea, one of the WSL's most prolific finishers. She describes herself as a grafter, and in the space of 6 years, she's gone from being a decent left back to one of the best strikers in the world. Unbelievable talent for the England national side at the moment. And yeah, she's still got a lot left in her career, I'm sure, to even further enhance her reputation. Next up, we've got Magdalena Eriksson. I think I pronounced that right. She's of Chelsea. She's a quality defender and captain, a true leader with that winning mentality on the field that it looks like he's going to lead Chelsea to the title this year. Next up, we have Caroline Weir of Man City. She's a top draw attacking midfielder, and her recent goal against United in the derby was nothing short of world class, and her teammates described it as Cantona-esque, and I can absolutely see why. Wonderful goal, look it up on YouTube. Next up, we have Ji So-yun of Chelsea, a complete midfielder, full of goals and assists, and that goes alongside an unrelenting engine in defence and the ability to keep things ticking over for her side, which is an invaluable skill that she has. Next up, we have our Chelsea teammate, Frank Kirby, well-known Frank Kirby, one of the world's best players, and so inspirational if you actually sort of read her backstory about her early life and her recent heart condition, everything off the pitch. It makes it even more remarkable, the player that she is on the pitch and the achievements that she's so far had within the women's game. Next up, back to Man City, we have Lucy Bronze, one of the highest passing rates in the division, and the first English player, man or woman, to win FIFA's The Best awards. What an achievement. It's just more groundbreaking achievements, from the women's games in terms of equality with the men's games, and the standard of football within the women's games is unbelievable, and it deserves to be discussed on a par, equality-wise, with the men's game. Okay, next up we have Viviane Miedema of Arsenal, mentioned her a little bit earlier. Very little to say about her other than the fact that she's a world-class striker and she's currently the WSL's top all-time goal scorer with 56 goals and counting, and she's still only 24. So you'd like to think if she stays at Arsenal or maybe switches up to like a Man City or a Chelsea, I could see her hitting the century quite easily. If she's on 56 at the age of 24, I could see her topping the century before she's done. Next up, we have Chelsea star Sam Kerr. She's number 3 in the all-time top goal scorer. She's only 2 goals behind Vivian as well, and she's the captain of her country, Australia. Now we move on to a few of the young stars. So first up, seems weird calling her a young star because she's been around for a while. You'll have seen her maybe in the documentary about West Ham women. She's already got, I think it's 25 caps for her country. Alicia Lehmann, fantastic player. I've yet to work out whether she's a forward or a winger. Her squad number at Everton, where she's currently on loan from West Ham, is number 9. So that would suggest striker, but she's predominantly used on the wing. When I first saw her at West Ham, I got the impression she was a wing back. Maybe she was being played out of position, but she's nifty up that wing. She's full of pace and skill. I'm sure the number 9 shirt represents the fact that she can probably do a shift up front as well. She's on loan from West Ham at Everton at the moment. And it wouldn't surprise me if she made the move to Everton permanent, given that she struck up a few friendships up there, especially with Poppy Patterson. And West Ham are in the fold to go down. If West Ham go down, I could see Alicia wanting a permanent move to Everton. Even if they don't go down, I mean, she wasn't being played that much at West Ham, and the thinking is that she's gone to Everton to kind of get football. Although a lot of her appearances have been off the bench so far. But yeah, we'll wait and see in the summer. I suppose it will depend whether West Ham go up or down and whether she's got playing promises. But it looks like she's settled in at Everton really well and made some key friends like Poppy. So it wouldn't surprise me if she makes a move permanent in the summer. Next up, now this girl I have had the honour of watching when Brighton played Birmingham City. Maya Letitia, no relation to Matt. Small coincidence, they're both from Guernsey. But she is a wonderful breakthrough talent of the women's game. She's been capped for England at under 17 and under 19s level, and trust me, it won't be long till she hits the senior squad. She started her career initially as a centre back, but she's kind of found by moving to right back that she's a lot better suited to right back. She's got that pace about her to get up and down the wing. Her positioning is exceptional, as is her passing ability. And I've every reason to believe that within 2 or 3 years, Maya will be an absolute superstar of the women's game. This girl is exceptional, believe me. She's going places. Next up, we go to what I call the battle for the England #1 shirt. Two young women on the rise within the game, #1 for their clubs respectively. That is Hannah Hampton of Birmingham and Sandy McKeever of Everton. They were both in the most recent England squad. On that occasion, Sandy was subbed on. Hannah didn't get the opportunity. But they're two world-class goalkeepers in the making. They're already fantastic goalkeepers, but you know they're still young. So give it a few years, I think they'll be world-class. And in my opinion, when the England #1 shirt next comes available, it's going to be those two knocking on the door for me. And I can't really call anything between them. They're both just exceptional goalkeepers. Next up, we have the young Man United breakthrough star of this season. Wow, probably going to win the WSL Young Player of the Year in my opinion. Ella Toone. Recently made her England senior squad debut as well, and she marked it by scoring from the penalty spot. She's hugely talented forward, and she's only 21. And this girl's heading for the top massively. Such an absolutely brilliant talent, so suited to the Man United shirt. It's unreal. Next up, another breakthrough star in the Man United team. Casey Stoney really has some young talent on her hands that she's nurturing just right, and she's making world-class stars out of these girls. So finally on my list is Lauren James of Man United, and she's only 19. So, you know, you're looking at sort of attacking midfield, striker area, made up of Ella at 21 and Lauren at 19. That's already been formidable this season in getting United into the title fold. But given a year or two for these girls to develop, wow, unbelievable midfield. So at 19, yeah, Lauren James is a future star of the women's game. She can play mainly as a striker, but she can also do the advanced midfield role. And he's already at 19 a technically brilliant player. So when she develops and she sort of hits her mid-20s, it's scary the amount of ability she has. Interesting facts, she's the sister of the young Chelsea and England rising star Reece James. So for my money, we could, in 4 or 5 years' time, we could have England senior teams dominated by Lauren for the women and Reece for the men. I'd certainly put some money on it. So yeah, there's a little roundup of some of the stars. I couldn't mention all of them. The division's littered with stars, it really is. But these are just some of my favourites, some of which I've been fortunate enough to watch play. So yeah, that's part 2 of my WSL post. I'll now attach some more of my favourite photos on the end. Please subscribe, give me some love. Trying to grow the channel, and I'll speak to you soon.